Hello, friends. This is Jaya for the session of digitalization. Today, we are going to discuss about what is its impact, what is its important in today's market situation, and why it has more importance in the business module. With an interesting case study deals with the QR code. So today, there in my first slide, there is a scenario between two friends, which is the name is Bob and David. So Bob is in this scenario, Bob is earning less, David is earning more, and the reason behind in this situation, they are the business owners of tours and travels. Whereas the David is earning more. Why? Because he has used a digital way of method by completing the request, complaints, query of the customer instantly. Where as on the other hand, Bob has used the traditional way of method in his business, and that seems consuming a lot of time in completing all the complaint requests of the consumers. So in today's world, the consumer doesn't wait for a service to be completed. He or she wants his or her service to be completed instantly. That is the reason in these two methods when we see that David is earning more and more and his business is getting flourished day by day by using this digital way of method in his business model. Whereas Bob is struggling to get his business flourish and he is trying to complete all the requests and complaints of the customers by consuming a lot of time, and the customers are really not happy with the service. So now we understood in this scenario there are two methods where these two friends are using, and it has a difference where David is earning more and Bob is earning less. So, in my next slide, we will understand what is the difference between these two methods. So, when we are talking about the traditional method in this, more manpower is used, the time consumption is more, the costing is very high, the processing is very slow, but the chances of errors is very, very high. But when we are using a digital way of method, the less manpower is involved, the time consumption is less, the costing is very low, processing has gone very fast, and has more and more accuracy. When we are talking about a digital method has its own value, has its own impact, and its own importance while we integrate it into the business module. So my next slide comprises of the digitalization. So when we are talking about the digitalization to define about, so how do we define digitalization? It defines under the four pillars. That is, first is the technology, second is the data, third is the process, and the last is the organizational change. So when we are talking about the technology, every business sector does have the technology, and this technology either creates a new or it tries to modify the existing technology to make it more and more transparent for the consumers as well as for the business owners. Second point is the data. So when we are running a business on an online platform, there is a lot of data according to the product, brand, and the company. So you can do all the data analysis according to the market situation and where is your brand is standing or the product is standing in today's market situation. Third is the process. So when we automate that process, it makes or it simplifies the complexity of that particular business module, the process of the business module, so that it becomes easier for the consumers as well as for the business owners when they are running that business on an online platform. Last is the organizational change. So when we are talking about the organizational change, it comes into our mind that when we are talking about this, the consumer requires a certain improvisation into your particular product. So to get that improvisation done, you need to do some changes in the organization. You have to create a lot of people to do a change in your organization to get that improvisation done. That's the reason when we are using this digital tool in our business module, these four parts or the four points which are really important to get your business running smooth for the consumers as well as for the business owners. Third, my next slide comes out of the importance of digitalization. When we are talking about the importance of digitalization, I comprises of 2 points, which is the first is the increasing efficiency. So when we are talking about the efficiency, how do it increases? See, let's say we have a lot of data, we have a lot of documents with us, but when we keep it on an online platform, it protects our records. It protects whenever it happens a disaster, or it is stolen, or it is something losses happen. Even your system has got some virus or something, but still you have that opportunity to get that documents recovered. So it protects all your records which are kept on an online platform. Whereas when you're doing in a traditional way of method, you can't protect all those things. And if it is lost or something has happened to your documents, you have to start from the scratch to make it end of those data. So that is what the digitalization has its value when we are doing, when we are integrating this tool in our business model. It protects the entire thing of your business. Second point which comes about, that is the retention of the customer. When we are talking about the retention of the customer, when the customer have some query or a request or a complaint. So when, if the representative of that particular business platform tries to listen to your query or a complaint very in a proactive nature, and he wants to try to help you out in this, so the customer would be really happy that this person is listening to my issues and he's trying to solve it. But if you don't listen it and you just ignore it, you can't uh, retain those customers. The retention is to try to understand what is the issue, be in a proactive nature to try to help the customer, and in this way you can increase a better customer base. And on the other hand, this retained customer can and recommend your channel to other people, and as well as the repeat purchases will come. So it will have repeat purchases business. Second, the growth of business. And third is a customer base increase on your platform. That is why the digital tool has its own importance, has its own points when we try to make a tool in your business module. Now, what is the examples of digitalization? When we talk about the examples, there are a lot of things of digitalization. We can play online games while using this digital tool. We can fill up any type of a form. If we are looking for a loans, we are looking for an admission on the school. Nobody nowadays wants to stand in a queue and to complete uh, their process to be done. But when we are talking about an online platform, if you're even a simple thing when you're filling a form for your kid for an admission, so it is more easier instead of standing there. You can even fill up the form for the admission. Even you can provide the fees online. So that makes it easier. Your time is not consumed. Your everything is more efficient way when you're using this digital tool in a domestic and even in a business part also. So it just has more impact in a business because everything is related to this tool. When it is a data, when it is a technology, when it is a process, everything it makes simplifies all complexity in a business when you're using this tool on an online platform. So I have given a domestic because domestic also helps in it, because while we are keeping all the wallets online, when we are trying to purchase something, we are just scanning it and giving the money to the vendor. So that is what nowadays digitalization has its impact. And nowadays we don't carry the hard cash with us. We always have this wallet with us. So it is more convenient for the consumers to pay off the purchase for whatever they are trying to purchase on an online, or if they are going in a traditional way to purchase something, they can just scan it. They don't have to carry all the cash with them to purchase something. So that is why digital tool has its own importance, has its own examples. Now we come to the slide where we can discuss or we can understand the advantages of digitalization. When we are talking about the advantages, it can be it is a time saving, because when you are searching for something or you are buying something, so you are sitting at one place, you're not traveling here and there, whether you're sitting in an office or in a home, you can still serve and try to get whatever the deals you wanted. So in hand, it goes for the cost saving. So when you are not traveling, it is saving your costs also. Then it comes to accuracy, hand in hand, the easy distribution when you are trying to distribute the information about your brand or your product, or trying to make the people understand what is all your company about. All the documents is secure, which I have given you the explanation in the previous slides, where your documents are really saved when you're keeping it in an online platform. And increase in profit, that is what, when you're retaining the customers, when you're giving a good service to the customers, you are have that opportunity that you can increase the profits, even you will get the repeat purchases from the customers. So that is what, in the session of digitalization, you understand what is this difference between the two methods. You will try to understand what is the importance of digitalization in a business model. Then you understand what is its importance, what are the advantages, and what are the examples in the digitalization session. I hope this digitalization makes it more clear when you apply this digital tool in your business model. Now we come to the last session of, or the last section of this particular session, is a case study, which we always does with the QR code, where nowadays it has become more and more convenient, more and more easy tool for the consumer to use it, because it doesn't require a lot of things. You just require a smartphone and an internet connection to scan it, and you can use the QR code in a different way. You can use it in banking, you can use in fashion, you can use in different sectors of the business with this QR code. So today's my study is related with the publishing house and the books. So everybody nowadays have, many people have a publishing business. Many people have to like to read the books, and uh, publishing business is trying to get into the field, trying to get in more and more growth into this public business. So I have something to discuss about the sector. I have a couple of points where you can do the improvisation. Who are the people who are in the session are into this particular field, and they wanted to increase their customers, or to engagement is more required in this particular business. So now we are trying to understand what is this actually the business about, and where this QR code can help us with it. So publishers and the publishing houses can make this use of this QR code to give the readers an interactive content through these QR codes that which are printed on the print media. So it can give a good amount of information about the publisher as well as the publishing house. More publishers and the publishing house have been looking for means to maximize their reach and drive the readers to it, readers' engagement quickly and easily for the past several years, which I was telling. The publishing house is still struggling to get into that particular business to that particular level through this, so that they can use this QR code to create more and more consumer engagement. It has not been easy feat, because publishers have to do it according to the reader's point of view, because that is the main important point. With whatever the publishing house is doing, is has to be done with the reader's point of view, and not from their potential buyers. So it all depends upon the reader's point of view. You have to check what they are reading, what is in the market, what is they are try to purchase, because many people are the good readers and they wanted a specific collection, they want a specific books that they are really interested. So you need to focus on that particular point. So technology advancements such as social media kindly helped a bit in this industry. Social media has helped, I can't say a bit, but a lot, to grab the attention of the readers. But then again, without this actual reading experience, we need the QR code for getting a good actual reading experience. They found the solution how they can get more and more customer engagement. So the QR code they found is the best way where they can engage more and more people into their publishers or the publishing houses of the books. So this is how the books can be in anything. It can be in a geography, it can be in a history, it can be in a textbook, it can be a novel, it can be in a drama, it can be a thriller novel. So they can be anything. So now we have to understand what the people want to read and what we can do to engage them with our particular publishing house. So, my first question, which comes into the mind, why? What could you provide them with the similar content? That is what. How do we engage those customers? So the books cannot provide all the content. As you all know, the books have a limited thing. They have a limited parameter onto that. So the books cannot provide all the content. They come into the several limitation that I was telling you, such as the page count, book print page, content, ads, and the main important is the editing part, which comes. It means that the author has to let go of a lot of information for the final print. So that is, in a one side, the author also has to deal with a lot of things because he have to edit a lot of things to make a final print. For instance, a writer cannot include a media clipping that will, like an interview or a new coverage that will help the reader to understand that particular story. By placing this QR code into that particular page, instead the publisher or the author can redirect the reader to the media to enhance that reader experience that would boost up the chance for the readers to return to the particular publisher and the author in future. That is what the person can't give a media clipping because there is a limitation when they are publishing that books. So this is a way you can apply a media clip through this QR code, which directs the readers to that particular website where they can try to enhance that reader experience and which they can understand what is that story about. Now, second is you can print the QR code for the audio sample. There are nowadays a lot of sample audio books, which is like Kindle and many more sites which are giving the audio books where you can just listen onto your phone, where you don't have to carry the actual book. You can just read it or on your phone or your tab or anywhere, and even the Kindle. So, how this QR code helps in it? So, these QR code could be printed in any form of the window in a shop or a bookstore to expand your audience and get that media attention to the end of the another book as a sample chapter. So you can do it in such a way. If you're having a store, if you're having a publishing house, you can just print this on that particular book, this QR code, and try to grab the attention for promoting for the next chapter of the next novel. Even print them on the coffee mugs to extend your client base. Also means the person who are coming to your store may have a sitting arrangement. I don't know, many people have it because I have gone to some similar bookstores where there are a lot of books but they have a sitting arrangement. They have serving coffee and they're serving the snacks, and more about they're trying, the people are trying it to promote the next books or the next chapter of the authors. So you can just have it printed on a coffee mug when the person, because when you're reading the book and the coffee is in the hand, it looks really good. When you're reading that book, you get a good feel. So you can promote in that part also. So get the readers to interact with authors. Many people from on the social media, many people want to interact with the famous authors or the writers or the publishing house. So how could you do that engagement? So reading is experience and interest is a partial book increase. So it can type of reading experience increases that for the book sale. When the reader actively engage with the author of the book, probably the ideal approach to do as through the social media. When they want to connect with the author, it is the best way that they can do it through social media. So, as do a social media QR code with the engagement CTA, which means a call to an action that leads the readers to the profile of their favorite author and get to know them better. While the social media is a difficult digital platform, because many digital platforms or social media where the person doesn't want to talk, sometimes it's a difficult spot, but still social media is a bit more important part when you want to engage with the authors, or even for the publishing customer. You can make it simple by bestowing your readers with the power of commenting and share, which is always you do when you go for a social media platform. When you see about your favorite uh, author, or you want and you learn about certain things about your author, you try to do it as a like or a sharing or putting a comment on that what is this all about, did you like that post or something. So this becomes a bit easier now. So QR code makes it easier when it redirects to the page to the social media. So that is why it will means the digital presence makes it increase your brand credibility when you are publishing house and these things. When you want to engage the readers, you can do it through social media also and try to get more and more reading experience with that particular book increase, and a lot of other books also. I'm not talking about only one book, but other books also. Then, in this publishing house, there is a community discussion. Many places there is a book reading club also. So you can start a type of a community. You can the best word you can say it as a club. So I can say for even how do we do that for newspapers and magazine, you can print this QR code. The papers, newspapers are going everywhere, so you can put this advertisement with the QR code to the article that leads that discussion on the board on the publication website. You can even have this type of a community, or you can have a club for the book reading, taking a different authors and try to discuss. So there you get that reading experience going on and on, because people love to speak out and find like-minded people online and giving the ratings as well. This is the most important thing, because when you gain that experience, you want those ratings, you don't want that feedback from them. So that is why it is really important. Promote the offers on the exciting reads. So if the particular books which are very sale on that particular store or on that particular situation, market situation, so you can promote some offers. So how can you make the readers interested with the other books written with the different authors? The answer is QR code. Okay, the one book is really famous, but you need to get your business running, so you have to promote the offers for the other authors for the different books, and this can be done through that particular QR code. The book generally contains a list of books created by that particular author, but as a publisher, you have to promote the books by the other authors to boost the sales and create a demand. That is also an important part of a publishing house, that they have to do all these things. They are not selling one book, they have to sell the books of different authors as well. And add to this QR code along with the CTA that redirects the readers to the best selling books from the other notable authors. This will increase the exposure as well as the opportunity for more purchases from your publication. That's what the entire thing requires in your business, that is to increase the sales and get more and more traffic in your website, in your publication. So even QR codes in publishing promote events as well. You can promote the events through this QR code for your publishing houses. So how it could help? That is, the QR code can help the readers effectively and access the info about the events and promotional activities such as famous author, or if there is a signing autograph session also, or there is an interview, you can add this QR code to the posters when you are promoting your events and the part for the publishing house, for the books, and even you can just print this QR code on that particular flyer or the poster and ask the viewers to scan them so that they can download on the bookmarks and the even link on the phone get on, and the bookmarks get into their phone and get the details as well of that particular event. So that is one part you can also do about when you are organizing the event as a publishing house for the different people, for different authors. So you can apply this method also. So the first thing uh, which in my mind also comes, the publishing house is doing more to engage more and more readers. Author has to do in a simultaneous way, in the other hand, a lot of their own marketing, like building their own author platform, where can they have a website, where they have emails, they have to look about the cover design, the book cover design which they are publishing out. They can also do a paid advertisement for the books which they have recently want to getting for printing and publishing, and they can also do a content marketing for the same. So this is how the both authors and publishing house have to do a lot of things to engage the readers with their books as well as with the content of that particular book. So every sector have its own things, own points, own users, but in every sector you will see that they have to do their own engagement to get more and more customer base. That is what it's all about. It's all about the online business to get more and more people on their website, to get more and more traffic. My last point, which comprises with this publishing and the author's part, is how do we find out the readers feel about this particular book or the publishing house? So every sector, what I was saying, that a customer base has his own impact because they will give the feedback, they will give the reading how they felt about that book or that publishing part. So you can how do we do that? How do we integrate that? So let your readers give your feedback as they're reading your book. So how would you do that? See, I read like 5 to 10 pages, and so you can print this can there is a way you can just not only get the overall feedback about the book, but even in a, say, chapter by chapter you can include that code. It is convenient that after certain page you can do that, printing the QR code, but in the same way you can do the QR code chapter by chapter. So that becomes easier for the thing, that you can get the experience how the person is liking that particular book. So you can include this QR code so that the readers can learn about the updates on the new collection, book, club meet, etc., which I told. This will help you to make sure that your readers are still connected, because you want that readers or the consumer wants to be connected with you even after they finished reading the book. So you have the opportunity that you can raise in that particular page, or you can give it under after 5 or 10 pages, or after finishing the books you can have that QR code where you can put a lot of information about, you can get that feedback from the people, you can also give all the updates regarding the this book, particular book, who is coming to launch another novel or something like that. So it is becomes easier when you are talking about books and publishing house. So in this session you learned about how the publishing house to get is struggling to get into that particular tower so that they can increase more and more business. The people who are in this business, they can use this similar content to understand what the people require, means a media clipping. You can include that in your books. Then you can have an QR code in the audio sample books if you are dealing with those audio ones also. Then you can get your readers to interact with the famous author, with their particular authors and the books, with the social media platform. Then you can start a community discussion, or you can start a book reading club where you can engage more and more people, take up a very interesting book, which, because there are some clubs where they only read like detective, some groups only like in cultural books, some like for the history. So you can create that ambience, you can promote those things where people get more and more engagement with you. You can even offer uh, give a promoting offers to the exciting reads for the particular authors, because you are not reading only one book, you will have other authors, you will have other books. So try to give a good offers into it. Then you can promote the events through this books, so that it goes hand in hand. When we are talking about publishing, the book also goes hand in hand. So you can do all these things, and then you can get the feedback, because if you're talking about the publishing or if you're talking about the authors, they both have to do their own marketing to get the sale of their book on the market situation very well. So that is all we require when we are running any company. If we are running a retail company, so we want that retail company should have the profit, the customers should come again and again to do the repeat purchases. The same goes with the publishing and the books industry. So I want these points. You can improvise it. You can try to apply it on your business module, so that you can get more and more reader engagement. This is what our today's case study, which have its own uses. QR code has its own impact, has its own importance in every business and every way of use. We can do it in every industry. So this is one of the cases which I was dealing with. So to that, we come to the end of the session. So now I'll be just a quick introduction of myself, that I'm working for Uxlivinglab, and it really execute the qualitative and quantitative research for the clients for their product, process, and service according to the consumer insights. They try to make an extensive report about the brands or the products or the services, so that we can understand where the brand or the product is standing in today's market situation. We also try to innovate. We also try to give some strategy to improvise the product or the processes for the clients. And this is what the essentially we do. We have our main office in Singapore. And if you want any more information about a company, that how it works, what are the features, what are the pricing, you can just have message to my Facebook part page, where you can just put me a message. We can I'll be providing you a calendar link where you can book an appointment, and we will try to help you out with your queries. So I'll be really happy if you have any question, if you have any part, and if you want to understand more about the Uxlivinglab, just let me know. I will try to help you out in this regard. So thank you for visiting to our session. Thank you.